Hi everyone, it's Sloan Rhodes. Hi subscribers, I'm here with your Spiritual Self-Mastery class, Ego and Heart, for the week of March 25th, 2019, or whenever you happen to be watching this or listening to this on the audio podcast. Remember everyone that these videos that I do on YouTube are also available on the audio podcast, so you can listen to them when you're driving or running your errands or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to be getting the cards today from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reid. And I want to say sorry I missed last week. But I have been, as you know, packing up. For those of you who have asked, I have not yet moved, but I am packing up the house. And we've been here a long time, and it's a big house, so it's taken me a while to get everything packed up. And also I can't decide where I want to move to next, so kind of in a fun place in that way, a very open place. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As I do every week, I'm going to be drawing one card, and with that card we'll be looking at the energy for the week, or whenever you happen to be listening to this, and how the ego may try to distract you during the week, and how the heart-centered energies can be explored more. And then I'll be getting another card for what we can expect to look forward to regardless. Let's go ahead and get started. I hope everyone's doing well. Alright, Heal the Ouch. Number 38. Hope everyone can see that. It's a raccoon and a fox. What we can expect to look forward to regardless is the Wide Open card. Very much where I am at. We also have the Sad Embrace under the deck. It's the underlying energy. So there has been, you know, with this under the deck as an underlying energy, there is kind of a tinge or an undercurrent of sadness, of some feelings of loss or sorrow. There may have been some changes. I remember the last reading I did, the last video I did a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of emphasis on the base chakra, the root chakra, feelings of safety and security around your finances, your home, your family. And so there may have been some changes or something that came in that caused you some anxiety or worry, so that you could, you know, even further explore how you can drop into the heart more when those energies come up, and how the ego may try to distract you, sometimes in very big ways. So there may still be some sadness that you're working with, because we also have Heal the Ouch here, which is really, really nice. But I love that the Heal the Ouch card is indicating there are two individuals. So, you know, remember that you're never doing anything alone. And the ego likes to, you know, kind of make you feel as though, or the egoic energies can, let me put it this way, I want to be as specific as I can. When the ego comes in, as it does for all of us at different times and around different circumstances, many times part of the patterning is, I have to do this alone. Why is it always on me? Why do other people have this incredible support group and I'm all by myself? Or why do I have people all around me who don't understand me, but they're all part of my tribe, so to speak? So you feel alone within your tribe, or you just feel alone in general. And you're not doing it alone, ever. You know, you're always doing it with the full support of the universe. It's just whether or not you're open to it a little bit or a lot, to that support, right? But the egoic energy can come in with this idea that you're kind of all alone, or someone's not doing it right. They're not saying the right words. They're not doing the right thing. And it can also be the reverse, like nothing you do seems to help another person, right? You're trying to like do your best to be there for somebody, or to smooth things over, to help somebody heal in some way, and nothing's right, you know? And of course it can also be that somebody's very intrusive, or you're being very intrusive with another, trying to speed them along. Hurry up and heal, you know, on your timeline. And it doesn't work that way, as you know. Everyone's process is different, and you can just be there for someone. You know, no one needs to be saved or healed necessarily. Everyone needs to be loved, and through that love is what allows for the healing to occur. So something to think about here. but just sort of the emphasis with the sad embrace and the heal the ouch, that there is a healing that is occurring. And as it begins to feel, as you process whatever has occurred, with this sad embrace, and you begin to kind of heal, integrate some of the lessons and understandings, the deeper spiritual understandings of why things happened exactly as they did, you begin to kind of work around that with the healing energy of acceptance, right? There's no easy way to do this. You just have to kind of work with it and understand it and allow whatever needs to be processed to come up so that you can acknowledge it, bring it into the light of day so that it can be healed and addressed. And as that occurs, you begin to surrender more to exactly what happened, how things are, and that's very healing. You're no longer resisting it. Then you can look around and see just what is available to you now. Because whenever there is a sense of loss, we perceive this loss, there is always the flip side of that, which is the opening, the newness. There's a very old familiar saying, that when one door closes, another opens, and it's true. And so there is this tremendous opening here during this week, but you have to be open to it. You can either be open to it a little bit and just see like a little keyhole, or you can really get up on the mountaintop, so to speak, and look around and see, where do I want to go? Kind of like me with where I want to live. Like, do I want to stay where I am? Do I want to go someplace else? I can't decide. And so there's this beautiful opening here. But it's always your choice, and the ego will say, I need to heal completely even. Here we have this idea around heal the ouch, and so the egoic energy is always the egoic energy thrives, let's say, in the familiarity of the conditioned mind's perceptions, right? So if you are perceiving that somehow you have been a victim, then the ego keeps you in that familiar patterning of contraction, familiarity, sustained feelings of lack, loss, anxiety, but when you drop into the heart more and you say, yes, that was not my preference, and that really did cause me to go deep within, but through that, look at where I am now. Look what's available to me now. There may be mass destruction behind you, but ahead of you, and in the moment, things may be wide open. It's just, are you able to see it? The ego will keep us hyper-focused on one particular thing. As I mentioned so many times before in these videos, it's like a giant spotlight, and it tends to draw your attention to the one thing that will keep that familiar patterning, either the feeling within or the corresponding thought structures, in that familiar patterning of anxiety, sadness, loss, victimization, and it keeps you there. It's so mesmerizing, and so it's so crucial to for your sense of peace to drop into the heart more and be aware of everything that's happening outside the myopia of the egoic conditioning, out of the bright spotlight of what the ego wants you to focus on. If you can close your eyes and go within, recognize that you are missing nothing, that everything is available to you. If you can experience it, if you can think of it, you can imagine yourself feeling it, then you hold some version of it within you. And so there is more to your world, let's say, to your existence than just what the ego wants to keep you focused on. Say it's a love relationship that has ended, just for example, just to give you an example so you can kind of ground it in the experiential. Say there's a love relationship that's ended. Well, the ego can keep you focused in on this one person was the source of all my happiness, all my safety and security in the world. Then the ego has top billing. The ego has won. It keeps you feeling as though you are somehow a victim. Whereas if you can go into the heart and say, yes, that hurt, and you acknowledge the pain, but then you say, yes, but look at how I've grown through this. look at how I can begin to become aware of all the ways that I am being shown love, either through the support of my family, either through my friend group, my coworkers, or the joy that I find in the work that I do in the world, or the joy that I find when I walk through nature. It's just different versions of love. But the egoic conditioning, the conditioning of the mind will say no, but it's only a certain type of love, and even more so with an individual, that can provide me that sense of peace and security and safety and love, And that's not true. It always starts within. And so you can begin to play with it more and say, all right, so it wasn't my preference, let's say in this example, this person and I broke up, but where am I open to seeing the love in this situation, to seeing that this happened for my greatest good? Am I open to seeing that? And just by asking the questions, then you begin to drop into the heart more. And when you drop into the heart more, when you ask the questions, when you're curious about what's going on, you are dropping into love, right? Just another word for love, curiosity, fascination. And then you become open. There's nothing more open than pure love. There's no judgment about anything. It's just love, 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 love. And there you are, wide open, open to new experiences, new kinds of love, deeper versions of love, with self first and with others. So that's just one example. But you can play with this like a game, kind of within your own experience, because all of these videos are geared towards you, identifying how the ego comes up in your own life, your own experience, so that you can begin to find a greater sense of peace, so that you can transcend the ego within each and every moment that you can. It's not about, as you've heard me say before, transcending the ego or conquering the ego. There's no need. The ego is the ego. It's neither good nor bad. It comes up, yes. And sometimes it feels really intense and very painful. But you can transcend it with your awareness in the moment. In the moment, in the moment. And in each and every moment that you become wide open, you drop into love, drop into your heart, ask some questions, play with it a little bit, then those moments gain momentum. And you have more of the openness and less of the fear, and less of the time spent trying to heal an ouch that maybe wasn't even there to begin with. It was just your perception of it. So there's a lot there. But anyway, it looks like in general it should be a nice week in terms of processing some pain, but also opening up to more healing, more love, and new experiences coming in that looks like will provide a greater sense of hope and optimism in all of us in many ways. But again, we have to be open to it. It's our individual jobs, let's say, to nudge ourselves into openness as often as we can. So anyway, I hope that everyone finds that helpful. I wish you much love as always, and I will see you either at your private appointment. I don't have my appointments up on the scheduler right now just because I'm kind of all over the place, but if you email me, I can go ahead and set up an appointment for you. And of course, my video readings are still available. So, and also over at the Sloan Academy, I do have my online courses. All right, much love to you. Bye.